So we now come to the end of the agenda, so we've done quite well. So we've got the forward planner for information, so we don't think we need to say...
Other than, Chair, just to note that the joint meeting, the meeting in common that we're proposing for Coastal West Sussex, Crawley and Horsham Mid Sussex isn't on there at the moment. We're just thinking what other business we might transact in that meeting in common. It's currently scheduled at the 17th of December.
Yeah, and has the invites gone out for that?
Yeah, they have gone out.
Yeah, it's in my diary. I just want to check everybody's got that invitation. I think it's in Billings first.
Is it an all-day thing?
I think we're looking to combine it with some development stuff, so potentially. I think it's in there for most of the day.
But check your diaries, check you've got that in there. If not, we can get that resent.
Sorry, what was the date for that?
17th of December. I haven't been notified of any other business, so evaluation of the meeting. Has anyone got any feedback they'd like to give today now? I'm happy to receive any feedback. I think could have been done better. If not, I'm happy to receive emails.
I just had one AOB which came about following the Alison's patient story around social prescribing, and I just wondered, and this is just a reflection of where patients are coming from, because they don't really see going to say a club or an organisation as a medical issue, and so there's almost a reluctance of wanting to go to see a doctor. If a doctor prescribes this, is different, but for them to actually want to go there in relation to that, there's almost a sort of a barrier there. And I'm wondering whether, as this develops, there might be a mechanism of maybe publicising that this is available, and maybe they could just go and talk, not necessarily to the GP, but maybe to a nurse or a social prescriber there, and accessing it in a different way, which then frees up a doctor's time.
Yeah, so I think that's part of the whole learning about social prescribing, is how we inform our local populations about what services are available. And I think it is about linking in across the wider system.
And it's maybe a conversation that needs to be can be referred back somewhere else. It's just something.
I can take that out of the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
So in Chichester, our social prescribers are part funded by the council, part funded by money that we made from GPTA. And the council were very reluctant for social prescribers to be self-referral. They insisted it was GP referral only at the moment.
Thanks, Ned. So, any other reflections on the meeting?
Just to say, Chair, that I thought was very important, and thank you for allowing a very long and detailed discussion around the Constitution, because I think it was such a critical item for the governing body. So, thank you.
I would second that. In particular, there was a potential for it to go really very wrong, and I think allowing that discussion for some really valid points to be made was instrumental in making it get the outcome you got.
Thank you, Ray. Sarah?
Just on that point, we've agreed that what we're going to do is separate out the filmed section of that discussion, and then that's going to be sent as a link to us locality directors to send out to our locality, hopefully before the end of the week. So thank you very much for that.
It'd be helpful because there's a lot of information in that, yeah.
Just to comment, I recognise that there's a lot of paper here still. I know the constitutional stuff is a big bulk of that, but we need to collectively get better at how we present the information to the governing body in a much more concise way that draws out the points, because otherwise we do get into too much of the detail, because we're not allowing you to focus on the issues. We absolutely need a conversation here, so that's for us to think further about.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. If anyone's got any more feedback, feel free to drop me an email or put the phone up. I'm happy to have a conversation about how things can be improved for the next meeting. We haven't got any members of the public here, so I will read it out just for the film. Resolution of item to be heard in private. In accordance with the provisions of Section 1(2) of the Public Bodies Admission to Meetings Act 1960, it is resolved that the representatives of the press and other members of the public are excluded from the second part of the governing body meeting on the ground that it is prejudicial to the public interest due to the confidential nature of the business about to be transacted. This section of the meeting will be held in private.